Alrighty, welcome everybody. It is Sunday. I have completed my tournament. I won't reveal the results yet. I may reveal them at the end of the video. But let me introduce you to round 4. So I'm doing great this tournament. I won my first round against Kai Solter. I won my second round against Jacob Mishoris. And I got a half-point bye in my third round for going home and just taking it easy. Take it easy. The results weren't up on the website, so I had no idea who I was going to play against, therefore I had no idea of doing any prep. So I made it to the chess club. I was 5 minutes late. The tee was a bit long. I also thought the games would start late. They didn't. So I was immediately down 5 minutes on the clock, and lo and behold, my opponent is Steven Gradijan. I think I'm saying that right. Steven is like the main dude at the chess club. I have not played him yet. This was very exciting. And Steven's older, and he's 1800. He's at his rating floor, it's known as. And generally, these are the kind of opponents you want. The truth is, Steven is still a dangerous opponent. Do I think he's an 1800 right now? Probably not. He does okay in the opens when he plays. He does win some. He loses more than he wins. But his playing strength is probably not that far off from an 1800. I am not 1800 yet. So I went in hoping for the best, thinking for the best, wanting to win, and if I get this win, I have great chances of winning the tournament. I was down 5 minutes, which wasn't a big deal, but the bigger concern is when I showed up, my glasses were in my pocket. I talked about them a lot yesterday, or the previous video. Literally, they broke in my pocket. What a disgrace. I had to go to the office, get some tape while I'm playing this game, and tape up my glasses. Yes, it was truly awful. Anyway, I think I played a superstar game. I'm really excited to share this one with you. So let's do it. I also may include my 5th round game in this video too. We'll have to see how long this one takes. Anyway, the reason this is crazy is Steven bangs out knight f3, and I'm like grinning to myself. I waste no time. I say YOLO. Yes, this is the Colorado counter gambit. I've had horrible results with this so far. I've played 2 games. I got destroyed by Camille when I just butchered it, and I had to fight for a draw. The other time I played this move. When that happened, obviously it was kind of a disgrace, if you will. But I'm trying to make amends for myself. I believe that was against Logan Gately in the Pi tournament last week, where I whipped out the Colorado counter gambit. I was determined to do better this time. I had studied a little bit more, and I keep expecting them to take the gambit, and Steven, much like other people, didn't have nerve, and he played knight c3. The good news is, I do know this as a third move, so I've at least studied this one decision tree deep. So I wasn't like out of book right away. I take, he takes, I play knight f6, just typical development. He takes, which is great. This move blunders the game, and you lose. So you go e takes, I played this very quickly, and he played d4. I spent 2 minutes in this position, analyzing, thinking, and I'm pretty sure the move is just to meet d4, d5. I want to get my bishes out, I don't know if I'm going to castle kingside or queenside, but I just play it. Another thing about Steven's playstyle is he plays very quickly. I didn't know this about him. I didn't know if that's like his norm or whatnot. He plays till checkmate, and he plays fast. So this is the first game. I was actually on the fire on the clock. I actually finished with only a couple minutes left on my clock. And this tournament is delay, not increment, so I was not gaining any additional time. Anyway, I thought for a little while, I thought d5 was correct. I didn't waste that much time, and he plays bishop f4. Now this is where my first critical decision of the game came. I spent 6 minutes on this move because I thought of a couple wild things. First off, I thought about g5 with an idea of literally launching an attack. Just attack! Bumping him out of the center, so that I'd actually have this queen check. I thought that might be kind of wily and interesting. And then kind of almost the reverse Jobava. If I go g5, I'm actually thinking about h5, h4. I thought that was decent. So I spent, again, 6 minutes in this move. I was considering that. I was considering bishop d6 and just kind of trade them off. And if he takes, I take the queen. I'm very close to castling. I was considering bishop g4 pinning. But then I thought his natural move was bishop e2, which is what I thought his bishop belonged anyway. The reason why is right now the knight is watching this pawn, and the queen's watching this pawn. And in a perfect world, if I played bishop g4, and then he does like a dumbass move. He wouldn't, but let's just say he plays like, b3. Then I actually could take, and then take, and I win the pawn, or he has to mess up his pawn structure. So I thought bishop g4 was a good move. And I also thought about bishop g5 with the idea of going knight b4 and immediately threatening some tactics on c2. So I kind of got excited here. It was my first critical decision. I thought that there were like a lot of moves. A lot of things seemed pretty reasonable, and I genuinely wasn't sure what to do. I decided to grip my seat and say, all right, Rob, we don't need to win the game on move 7. Maybe this is good, maybe not, but let's just play simple. Let's just play bishop d6. And my thinking is trade, and I thought that already I'm maybe not better, but like I'm in good shape. I even was considering checking him to get him to weaken the pawn structure, thinking that this then comes splitting him off from queenside castling. So I actually was considering that move too. So needless to say, on move 7, I literally had like 7 candidate moves, just to like list them. That where I thought that this would happen. This, but I thought this would happen. I didn't like this. I thought if he didn't do that, if he did something like this, then I'm threatening here, because obviously if he takes, then takes, and I have all these forks. So he'd have to then take back here. And I thought this was good for me too. And what else am I thinking of? Oh, and just bishop f5 with this idea to just bang a ring. Anyway, needless to say, I was really feeling my oats. I got enough sleep. This is not, sometimes I don't really sleep before games because my sleep schedule is weird. This is not the case. I went to bed at like 12:30. I woke up at 9. So I was like well rested. Just, feeling good spirits. I had a yogurt before the game, All right, so Steven responds with queen d2. He's now, obviously, by the way, this is unguarded. So I thought he either needed to take, backtrack, or move the queen up. So I'm fine with this. He blocks with the queen. Now I have a lot of ideas. I mean, it would be great if I, can now squadouche him with the g5 and, laser him down with the bishop. But, I just thought that I didn't need to win the game right away, and I went bishop f5. With the same deal that I'm still gunning and eyeing the c-pawn. Same thought is I don't want to... First off, it's not even threatening a pin anymore. But I also thought that he could just develop the light square bishop and white is fine. So let me see. I spent 4 more minutes in this position looking for the move. Oh, and I'm not sure if I'm going to castle kingside or queenside. I figured his next move was to castle queenside, sort of what he prepared. And that's actually why, for the record, even in this position, I thought about throwing in this move. I lose a tempo, but now he can't really castle. Well, maybe he can. I don't know. Maybe it gets kind of dodgy, putting pressure here. But I just thought that, like, with the weakened pawn structure, that my light square bishop would be, like, roven down the middle. But I just didn't, I just didn't like it. So I thought that it was more appropriate to play bishop f5, and play from there. Steven wastes no time. He really played fast. He queenside castles. And I do another thought. Again, I did a lot of thinking this game. Part of me thought that I needed to castle queenside, but if I do a random move, like, queen d7, I thought that the check would be really annoying. And yes, I could block, but then I thought that he could just, like, totally load up on the pin. Well, it doesn't work here. So it would be something like takes, and then here. And I thought that this would be really annoying for me. Because now I can't castle, and my king is in the middle of the board. So I thought that this would be pretty awkward. So I thought that if I did something random, again, developing the queen or so, that, I don't know. I mean, what to even say, right? So I looked at this, and for some reason I thought the bishops were off the board at this point. Looks like they're not. I ended up castling. I thought that king safety was paramount. I have this pawn here. Maybe this light square diagonal is not a big worry. I've gotten out of the opening, and I think that, like, I'm certainly not worse here. I was feeling pretty happy. A few moves ago, I was also considering a6. I thought it was too slow. Maybe even here I was considering it, not wanting him to develop the bishop. But again, just being very worried about the immediate check, and I'd kind of mess up my own opening development. I figured that this was the time to get my king safe. So I just castled, whatever. All right. Steven plays h3, which I thought was kind of a wasted move. I didn't understand it. I thought his best move in this position was a3, actually, because I am now prepared to gun down on his, on his position. So I calculate. Knight b4, c3, knight a2, checkmate. And I think that's a very natural reaction. So I calculate that this could be a mate. I thought if I play here and he doesn't respond to the pawn, I'm just winning the pawn. I could take with either piece. And I like check my boxes. I like thought for h3, 3 minutes, and I play it. Thinking, of course, there's always the blunder check. And if he just takes, it's fine. I just take with my queen. And Steven wastes no time. He shrugs. He plays a3, and I do a 8-minute think here because I am calculating all of the sacrifices that I can possibly. For the record, I thought for 8 minutes, and I ended up chickening out and just moving back to c6. But I was calculating knight takes pawn, but the move I was worried about was knight h4. And at first, I thought I have knight takes defending the bishop, but then the problem is he can just take. And in the line that I wanted, if he doesn't have this knight move, I thought that the line that I wanted, like if he plays something like here, I thought that takes, and I blow open his queen side at the cost of a piece. And I was calculating stuff like this. I didn't know if this was good for me or not. It's not. It's plus 0.6. But I thought this was very explosive. So I was calculating these kind of moves. And it's a piece sacrifice for 3 pawns, which is a lot of pawns and no king safety. But the problem is I saw after takes that he just has this move, and I don't have a discovery. And if I take here, I'm only winning 2 pawns, and I thought this was quite good for white. Yeah, it's plus 4.2. Yeah, this is just losing for me. Oh, and he can even take right here and then pick up the knight. Right. So, yeah, so when I moved here, I was really sad. And then, for the record, I saw if I go here, obviously he can't take because I'm supporting. And if he could just take, and then I take. And I thought this position was the best case scenario if I go bishop takes. And this apparently is winning for me because I'm crashing down. Right, because I'm crashing out with check. But the problem is this doesn't have to happen. If I take this pawn, he can just play rook e1. And he's hitting both the bishop and the knight. And I thought that after rook e1, I'm losing here. Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm actually winning. Wait. Should I have gone knight take... Oh, my God. Knight takes c2 is winning. Oh, I calculated so long, and I just didn't have the balls to play it. It is winning. This is what I was going to go into. Oh, it is winning for black. Then what am I not seeing here? Because I spent 8 minutes in this position. I calculated knight takes pawn, and I thought, okay, if he plays bishop d3, then... Oh. The key there is you have knight a1 threatening this fork, which is wild. Very, very tactical. But I was afraid of knight h4. Oh, I had to find the same move. Knight a1 threatening this fork, and that's a brilliant. The game is over here. He can maybe, again, it doesn't matter. He can take on f5, but then boom, I win his queen. I didn't see knight a1. Superstar move. It would have rightfully earned a brilliant. If we reached this position, this would have been a very easy game for me, because then takes, he takes with the rook, and I'm just up a queen. I mean, and this piece is falling. Everything is lost for him. Oh, right, he would he would take back with the bishop then. So what's the material count here? I'm +4. So he has 2 rooks. I have 2 rooks. I have a queen. He does not have a queen. I have a bishop. He has a bishop. He's got a bishop. He'd have 2 minor pieces for my queen. This is obviously completely winning for black. Man, I thought I was like, when I saw this knight b4 idea, I was very excited. And I have the engine on, just to be clear, because he played a dumb, like, again, I thought that, I mean, a3, I thought that I just have, you know, that was his, he has to trade, and I thought I was still kind of attacking, and that's a quality for him. But he plays a bad move, a3, and I needed to stick with my convictions. Wow, it is winning. Well, this is why we turn on the engine. It's pretty fascinating. I kid you not, on this move, my sense was that I had something, but because I couldn't find anything concrete, I moved back. But, like, I spent 8 minutes in this position, from 107 to 59. Knight b4, he plays this, and I kept looking at knight takes c2. I needed to find, it's a beautiful tactic, guys. I'll turn off the engine now. And this is the real threat. Knight a1. Yeah, knight a1. I was worried here, but you actually can give this because you actually end up winning the knight. So, like, let's say he plays the best move according to the computer. I mean, obviously he's giving up the piece for that knight, but let's say he plays... Okay, let's say he plays here. I play here. Is there any way of stopping? There's no way for him to stop this fork. Because I'm threatening a mate, I guess. Because, like, let's say if he moves the queen, queen c3, what happens? And then I have to see, oh, and then I just take with check. And he's just screwed. So if he stays on this diagonal, I still take. And then after takes with the queen, it's mate in 1. Which yeah, mate in 1. Beautiful. Knight b3. Taking away the squares. Wow. For the record, again, when I played knight b4, I saw the mate if he plays c3. Again, taking away the squares and checkmate like that. I needed to stick with it. I thought once he had the luft that I didn't have a mate, but actually I needed to keep fishing with it. So, all right. Hey, hopefully this is instrumental for all you guys. And, like, again, this is move 11, and I had a tactical win there, which is a brilliant sacrifice. To my credit, I worked at it. Again, I thought I was better. I told Steven after the game. We didn't go over it together. Apparently he doesn't go over games with people. But I told him I thought that I was better in this position. It looks like I am. I got some tactical motifs. But I said once I moved forward and then I wasted the tempo, literally just going back, because that's what I did. I thought I lost the advantage, and it was just equal again. But I kept looking at knight takes c2, and the best I could find was basically bulldozing his pawns, which still isn't bad. But I didn't even consider knight a1 to threaten the fork. It's beautiful. I wonder if any of you people watching would have found that. Ryan, Randy, you guys are very good players, but I wonder if you would have seen knight a1. What an insane move. Man, I thought I played very well this game, but I missed that. That's just crazy. All right, let's keep going on. I don't want to make this video an hour, but it's good to, like, this is why we go over the games. I missed that. I retreated. I thought that I had something, and then maybe it slipped. I was like, all right, it is what it is. And Steven hits me with a g4. He's, like, trying to get the pawns rolling. The problem is he's got 2 pieces blocking his f-pawn, and without being able to push his f-pawn, he doesn't really have an attack. His light square bishop is a little bit misplaced, too. So I looked at this. Wasn't concerned because I was able to just ship my bishop up, and this is what's known in the business as a wooden shield. I mean, this is a dominant bishop. So I thought that my pieces were in pretty good shape here. I also was thinking there were some lines where I'd play g5 myself, kind of clarify the position, trade. I was a little bit worried about g5 and then knight takes. I thought that maybe there'd be the intermitsu, takes, and, again, I'm defending my g5 with the queen. So I was still okay with that. So, all right, anyway, I wiggle on up, and Steven hits me with bishop g2. I spend another 8 minutes in this position because I thought I had another attack. Guys, I'm not kidding when I'm telling you I thought that I was in the motherfucking zone. I kept saying, maybe I can take this pawn. It looks insane, all right? But, by the way, I don't think I can. I ended up playing rook e8 to prepare taking it. But I calculated knight takes, and if he goes knight takes, I have bishop takes. I'm immediately hitting the rook. So basically, he'd have to move it, and then I can basically roll back and hit the other rook, and basically get I win this pawn for free, because it would be this knight for this bishop. In that order as well, if I go knight takes and he plays queen takes, then I have this intermezzo move, bishop takes, bishop, check! And I'd win a pawn in that line, because then I could go takes, he'd go takes, takes, and I'm actually just winning material. What if I go knight takes, bishop takes? Ah, interesting you say. I would play knight takes knight. I'm hitting the queen. He has to take back. I attack. I'm hitting both rooks. He can win my rook. I can win the other. I'm still up the pawn. So I literally saw this tactical idea of knight takes pawn. Brilliant. However, I'm going to show you what I saw, which is why I didn't go into it. I saw knight takes d4, knight takes, and if I go bishop takes, he's got this fork, knight to e6, hitting both pieces. And the problem is, I have to move the queen. As soon as I move the queen, either place. If I move here, he takes and he's immediately hitting the queen. I have to, let's say, take back, and then he can just move his piece. And if I move back to hit this, he just takes the file, and I'm down the exchange, okay? And you say, well, what if I, instead of moving my queen to d8, and I was calculating this, I moved to e7. I thought this was actually even worse for me, because after takes here, I can go takes, basically, actually, is this winning for me? No, this is still good for me. Takes, queen takes, and I am trapping the piece there. Huh. All right, well, all right, let's look, because I saw knight takes d4, and I thought for 8 minutes about it. It's not the best move. Okay, good. My move, rook e8, I thought prepared knight takes pawn, because it's taking away any of these forks, because I'm controlling the e-file. So what's wrong with knight takes pawn? Because he goes knight takes knight. That's right. Knight takes knight. Blunder. And then bishop takes bishop, which is what I saw. Bishop takes on g2. He goes hg1. I go, oh, right. Oh, right. And if I go f3, he's just taking it back. So I go, let's say, to e4. And the problem here is now he can go f3. And he's attacking that way. Okay, that's right. I go all the way back to g6, but I'm going to end up losing material, I guess, with now the fork comes. Yeah, now the fork comes. And I'm not getting the rook back. Okay. Okay. Whew. All right, I was very tactical this game. Anyway, I thought after this, I kept trying to make knight takes d4 work, because I thought it did. I was really very, very, very curious. They like f5. I actually did consider f5, but I didn't think I wanted to let him break it open and then get the immediate play on me. The truth is, it lets me take with the rook, and then I'm eyeing these pieces, and I'm the one attacking him. But it also is nice to see that the computer says I'm already better here. I play rook e8, and I'm still a little bit better, but the computer thinks this is an accuracy. All right, whatever. All right, nonetheless, after rook e8, Steven wastes no time. By the way, it's worth pointing out, after rook e8, I've used almost half my time in just 13 moves. But that's because I kept thinking I saw these wins, and I really wanted to calculate them out, and I couldn't quite find them, so I didn't go for them. But yeah, pretty fascinating stuff. I mean, I really was considering knight takes d4. I calculated it out, and then I thought I saw the line where, again, at the end of it, he has this fork that I then called the audible off. And, was still playing a dangerous game. He decides to go rook g1. I think with this rook. I didn't actually mention which rook, but I think it was this one. And now the lines don't work because his bishop is now protected. Before, if I could dislodge the knight, this was hanging. So now my knight takes d4 doesn't work. It is what it is. You know, it is proverbially what it is. I realized I needed to pick up the pace a little bit. And I started thinking, how can I improve my position? I didn't think I had a knockout blow. I didn't think that, like maybe I missed out on something. By the way, my glasses did break, so I'm going to actually switch my pair. I thought I had a backup pair here by my desk, but I'm not finding it. So these are just kind of like resting haphazardly on my face. All right, whatever. Yeah, because I'm only 14 moves in, I've already used half my time. You know, I really spent long things trying to like find these tactical wins, and I was almost there. If only I found Knight A1. What a move, huh? I then decide that my best bet is to start launching these pawns forward, and my knight is actually preventing me from doing that. So I saw a reroute of going knight e7 to knight g6, where I could actually control the f4 square, preventing him from pushing it, and again threatening this. So I thought it was time for a knight maneuver. Ideally, my knight would occupy the e4 square. I learned about the this concept where like you've got two beautiful minor pieces that could occupy an outpost. You really only want one, but it would take some work to get my knight rerouted there. But I thought we should get started, so I went knight e7. I'm actually curious if the computer likes my move here. I switched into positional chess. They like b5. You know, I was considering b5. I'm not even kidding. Just ripping open the center. I was even considering rook b8. Yeah, they like that too. Shit. They like that better than my clunky reroute path. I didn't know how serious I had to take. I didn't know how serious I had to take his aggression. For the record, I played knight e7, which is fine, but it's not best. Okay, yeah, it's okay. He really should trade, and then my rooks would have been connected. He kind of forgot about these pieces in tension. I was looking to clarify the position like so. All right, computer does not love my move. Steven plays knight h4 now. He's offering the trade, and I was fine with this. This is a very good bishop, but I thought that my only weakness was this diagonal, and if the light squares bishops are gone, then the fact that I played f6 is actually advantageous in this position. So I very quickly snapped it off. This is one of the first moves I didn't think. He goes rook takes. And the funny thing is, now his rook is... He wants to double up, but his rooks are kind of disjointed. Like, the rook doesn't belong on g2 necessarily. So I see some tactical ideas. Hopefully you guys see it too, but g5 is looming with a fork. It doesn't work right now, because he could just go bishop takes bishop. But immediately I was like, ooh, tra-la-la. In fact... I saw this, and I was like, wait a second. If I go bishop takes bishop, queen takes bishop, g5, I'm going to fork him. Fork you! Fork me! Fork me! I don't know, something like that. So I calculated, and I was like, all right, he's going to win a couple pawns. My king side's going to be a little bit weak. It's not like the cleanest piece, but at the end of the day, how could I not go for it? So I went for it. I went bishop takes bishop, and it's good. It's not like winning per se, but it's -1, and it's like black is comfortably better. So I did it. Okay, cool. I went bishop takes bishop. Obviously, I'm pinning the queen and the king he has to take back. I obviously launched g5, hitting both pieces. Steven's still, like, basically just blitzing. This guy, I talked about him afterward. He said that his big problem, he said in the office afterward, because we talked before the round 5, he said that apparently he had a stroke like 2 years ago, and he said ever since then he's not able to like focus and think for long periods of time. So he's just been blitzing moves too fast. So at this point in the game, he's only used 30 minutes. I've used an hour. Again, this is very unusual for me to be that much lower on the clock, but obviously it didn't serve him well to move so fast. Anyway, I play g5. He takes, queen takes, and f6. He's just trying to salvage the position. I obviously take his knight. I'm up a pure knight. Yeah, and like at this point, like, okay, I'm not like, all right, I'm 100% going to win this game. I don't think so. But as soon as this goes through, I like do a deep breath, sigh of relief. He goes queen takes an h4. And I'm like, all right, I get my knight to g6. I'm threatening to trade queens. If we trade queens, I have a fairly simple game. But moreover as well, I have some checks. I have the activity. His rooks are disjointed. This is just great. So I just play it. I mean, knight g6. I also saw that if he plays queen h5, I have this fork to hit both. He doesn't have a check because my queen's guarding and obviously my pawn's guarding. So I'd win even more material. I also have this fork to hit both of these pieces. So I saw basically a lot of forking ideas. I thought maybe he just has to trade. And after trade, I thought this was like, look, I still have more than 40 minutes. I have 41 minutes at this point. I was like, okay, like I can do this, Rob. Like no worries. So yeah, knight g6, and he tries to keep the queens on with queen g3. I think I made a bit of a mistake here. I was a little too eager to trade queens. I thought queen check, he goes here, and then basically I just vamonos in and threaten, basically force queens off. The problem is it doesn't force queens off. And this is where I started moving a little too hastily. I spent all of 1 minute in this move. And yeah, and that was a mistake. Because after spending, winning the piece, I'm like comfortably better. But the game isn't over yet. Okay, it's -3. It's quite good. Okay, cool. I play the best move of queen g5 check. Okay, that's a relief. Like, now I just need to convert, right? Like, I'm comfortably better. The position is good. I do play queen g5 check. His only move is king b1, which is what he plays. Obviously, he can't block with the pawn because I can literally just take, and then we force the queens off, and then it's very, very simple. In this position, I thought he actually kind of needed to trade queens. Queen g3 is his best move. It's his best try. Trading queens is equal as well. If he traded queens here, like if I got this position, again, very simple. I'm going to hit the second rank. I'm going to double up. Then my knight is a beast. I can reroute. I can hit the pawns, etc., etc. All right. Whatever. That didn't happen. I check him. He moves his king over. And unfortunately, I blitz this move out. Thinking that I like this gets the auto trade queens. I play queen f4. Does the computer like this move or does it hate the move? Yeah, it's on the candidate move list for the computer. It's in the top 5. But apparently I should just chill the fuck out. Play rook e7, which defends the c7 pawn. Yeah, like I thought by moving my queen over here, I'm defending this pawn. I mean, you guys can see it's kind of under duress. His only play is kebabbing me and trying to like use the rooks. But this rook is in such a bad... It's so poorly positioned. He's a few moves away from like activating it, Rook e7 makes a lot of sense. Rook e7 and then ae8 makes a lot of sense. But I play a little too quickly. I play queen f4. Just like holding out the sign of like, please trade with me, sir, so that this game can be easy for me. But unfortunately, as soon as I do this, Steven finds the best move. He plays queen b3. And now all of a sudden, I realize I've mucked it up. You guys can tell he's hitting this pawn with check. He's hitting this pawn. And I now decide, I said, all right, Rob, I think I'm winning. I spent 9 minutes in this position. I said, all right, deep breath. He doesn't want to trade queens. He's not going to make it easy. Let's really think about how to go. I first thought, okay, I can play queen e4, hitting the rook, defending this pawn so he doesn't have a check. But the problem is I thought that he would just play rook g1, and I'm kind of like letting him fix his bad rook, So I then ruled that out. That was my instinctual move. If I was playing blitz, I would have blitzed that out. I then thought, okay, is it so bad if I lose the b pawn? I thought it was a disaster if I lose the d pawn. So I then think, okay, how do I want to protect this pawn? I could still move my queen over, because then my queen's providing a bastion, but I was not so happy about rook g1, and then him swinging it over. And yes, maybe I could trade the queen for the 2 rooks, and maybe this is still winning, 2 rooks and a knight. But I've gotten a few of those positions in Classical where my opponents just have a queen, and they've checked me to death, and like that was the game against Noah Solomon, for example, and honestly, I didn't want that. I thought that would be a nightmare. So I then think, how can I defend this pawn? I can slide this rook over, I can slide this rook over, I can slide the queen, or I can push c6, right? Theoretically, I could also move my knight, but I didn't want to get into these positions of, like pinning my piece. I also thought it was pretty decent on g6. Ideally, it can reroute to f4. So I then decided at the end of it, I did play c6 for the record, and I basically sacrificed the b pawn, thinking that if he goes wild, he's actually opening lines on his king, and maybe I'm gonna then actually get maybe it's too dangerous a pawn for him to even take, is what I thought, to be honest. So I also thought, for the record, ED is way too passive. I'm relinquishing the only open file. I want it. I thought AD8 was okay, but my thought was maybe he can't take the B7 pawn. But if I all of a sudden am losing like the A pawn and possibly the C pawn, then I didn't think I was winning any longer. It would be too many pawns. So I sack up, and after 9 minutes I play C6. I really was unsure about this move. I really didn't know. Queen D6 is the move. Well, it's funny. I played that. I played that next. I play C6 here. Is this a bad move? It is a bad move. All right. Well, see, it wasn't so simple. I was winning, and then he takes this pawn, Queen B7, and all of a sudden I'm like, shit. This is not so simple. I've kind of bungled this one. I kind of bungled it and botched it. Now I play Queen D6, thinking that all my ducks in a row. I don't really have ideas of getting this queen to the square. I considered in this position, again, playing like Queen F3, hitting both rooks. But the problem is I saw GG1, and they're all connected. And now if he starts taking these pawns, again, I'm in like a lot of trouble, possibly. So I played Queen D6 with the idea that maybe I can trap his queen and I can just gun it down on the B file. What's interesting is I'm no longer like winning. I'm just black is just better here. I'm kind of mucking it up a little bit, mucking it up. I was in a little bit of time pressure here. Steven plays F4. He's trying to like get some kind of offensive going. Obviously, I could take the pawn. I thought if I take the pawn, he gets his other rook into the game, and with the queen kind of daunting on me. I actually was a little bit worried. I can't quite check his queen because this rook would fall. So I thought that my first order of business was kicking his queen. I saw that his queen was limited on squares. He can't go here, 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 he can't go here. If I attack it, he can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go here. So really, I saw if I attack it, his only move was A6. I then thought I could artificially double my rooks and try to just form Aliekin's gun with ideas if he has to move his queen, then I have queen takes A3 and it would be a very simple mate. So I thought that I should start by relinquishing the E file, taking the B file, checking his queen, right? Like, he doesn't have time to make use of the file because I'm just attacking him. He obviously can't attack me. I just win the queen. So I thought this was like the first order business. He obviously plays Queen A6, and very quickly, I spend a minute in this move. I play Rook B6. My thinking is he can't go here, he can't go here. I guess he can go here, but then I would just double up. I guess he could go here, but again, doubling up. So I thought that he might have to stay on the A file, and then his queen isn't really in the attack, and I'm okay with that. I also saw, by the way, well, I guess it's coming up. Anyway, I attack his queen. I was like, all right, show me what you got. Show me what you're working with. Let's see where you're going to move. On move 26, he plays Queen A5. He moves up. And, yeah, I thought that if I play Rook AB8, he can actually now take the A7 pawn. I take, and I don't quite have it. I thought that there were lines where I could take with the knight, but I thought, all right, everything is held. I'm controlling the center. What about just taking with the queen? Is that so crazy? Queen takes F4? Is that a move? Is that a thing? Is that an option? Knight takes F4 is better. No, Queen takes is quite good, though, too. Knight takes F4 is the best move. I was just afraid that I was going to activate his rooks for him. It's passive here, but his best hope is just trying to, like, squidoosh me down the F file. And again, with Queen takes, I'm taking away the ability for him to move a rook there, because obviously in those cases I can just take it. All right, so I go Queen takes pawn on 26. And already I'm doing the count. I'm like, all right, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have the knight. He doesn't. I figured I was better, maybe considerably better, but I didn't think I was winning here. I thought I definitely bulldozed it when I let him play this Queen B3 move. Anyway, at this point, after Queen takes F4, he now plays Queen E1. And he's trying to activate. He's trying to control the file. And he's gotten his queen back. He's moved away from the queen side. He's now back to the king side. I assumed he's going to play Rook F2. Just try to, like, get it into the game. Get it into the game. And I decide to just go along with my plan. I play rook ab8. I thought that this was a very safe move. I'm developing my last piece. My threat is pretty clear. I'm trying to rip him open on b2. I thought this move kind of played itself. He plays b3. Now this is a weak pawn. If I could do the wiggle wiggle dance, I'll win. I spend 2 minutes on my next move. I play queen d6 back again. It's pretty funny. My queen has been, back and forth along these moves for a while. Does it compete for like a sacrifice? 6 to 7. They like this better. Queen d6 is the best move as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, and the idea is pretty simple. I mean, I'm threatening the pawn. And if he defends it, I thought that I might have rook a6. I'm just trying to checkmate him. It looks like black is only a bit better. -1 again is just not. It's just not winning. Over the game, I felt pressure because I was like, at this point, I'm down to 18 minutes, guys, and he has 49 minutes. So, quite a big time advantage. So, I realized that maybe I wasn't converting beautifully. Like, maybe I missed some wins. I really wasn't sure. I was just hoping to hold on to my seat and get out of here with a W, with a dub. All right, so after queen d6 hitting the pawn, he plays king b2. He just slides his king up. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Crisscross. Crisscross. All right. After king b2, now I decide that it's important for me to own this file. My knight is protecting e7, so now I play rook 6 to 7. I thought this made a lot of sense. I thought that there were some lines where I'd, again, create Aliekin's gun. Some lines where I'd play a5, a4. Not now. He would just take it. And some lines I would reroute and just retake the center of the board and imperil the queen. So, yeah. So I played rook 6 to 7. Steven plays h4. He's trying his best to dislodge my knight, just kind of getting it rolling. And I was like a little bit uncomfortable about that. I spend another 30 minutes in this position, wondering if I have to respond right away, prophylactically. And I decide, no, I can take the e-file first, check the queen, and that will buy me some time because I'm not sure where he's going to put his piece, okay? Yeah, I just wasn't really sure. He plays queen h1. So he kind of goes to this diagonal, which was kind of unusual. By the way, I was always worried about knight f4, because I thought that him pinning my knight was actually potentially scary. It wasn't easy for me to fix. And here is where I start moving fast. So after this move, queen h1, I start blitzing. I'm down to 16 minutes, and I play the next until move 43. I play my next 12 moves in 2 minutes. So I think I overreacted to time pressure a little bit. However, I think my moves are pretty accurate. We'll see. We'll see. After queen h1, I play rook c4. No, rook e4 probably. Remember, my c's and my e's look alike. Let's see, it's raining outside. It's 31, rook e4. Yeah, and I thought this made sense. I'm trying to double up. I am trying to control the files. I'm just trying to control everything. I'm also preparing to play knight f4 with another protector so that my queen's not pinned. And I thought if I can relocate my knight here, then again I might have some plays for days. Yeah. Rook, and again, now I start blitzing. He plays h5. He's attacking me. I play knight f4. Again, hitting this rook, thinking that maybe he has queen h2. But I was going to move my queen. Yeah, I wasn't that worried about it here, because I was going to... So, for the record, after I play knight f4, he plays rook f2, which is his best move. But I thought if he was going to play queen h2 in this spot, I was going to play my queen e6 or queen e7. Or just get my other rook into the game. They like c5 here, dislodging. I was worried about playing this. I shouldn't have been, but yeah. Yeah, I guess I would have just played rook be8 and then formed the Aliekin's gun. Just, gun it on in there with the idea, just to be very clear, of trying to Ted Lasso him. All right, anyway, once he plays rook f2, he's trying to develop some kind of counterplay. No one said this was going to be easy. Nobody said it was easy. And I decided to start my reroute. I figure I can attack this pawn. This pawn falls. He's got big problems. He's weak along this diagonal. I can make use of it with my knight. I play knight e6. I'm hitting pieces. I thought that he would pin me, but I would kind of ignore it. I would just get my other rook into the game. I thought I could also attack it momentarily. And again, I'm just trying to form Aliekin's gun and finally bring my knight into the game because I want to make use of the fact that I have a piece and he doesn't. And that's kind of, that was my thinking. Not surprisingly, he does. He kind of bites the bullet. He bites for the trap. He plays rook f6. I didn't think this was an accurate move. He's still moving so fast. He really did move very, very fast. I very quickly get out of jail free. I play queen e7, hitting the rook. He plays g5. He's pushing these pawns like Donkey Kong. And yeah, the truth is, okay, black is quite a lot better. Oh, great. And it's because I didn't believe him. I play the best move, of course. I'm like, I see this position and like, yeah, his queen's looming. Maybe he can bring his rook in. I have this pawn still. I have a defensive piece. And I said, screw defense. Let's play offense. And I played the best move. I played knight takes d4. This looked great. I have these ideas of checkmating him. I'm like, all right, Steven, like, enough fucking around. Give me this game. Let me win this one. Anyway, he plays queen f1. He's trying to double up so that maybe there are some lines where he has some, like, threat on f8. My king is sort of sheltered. Shelter from the storm, Bob Dylan, kind of. After queen f1, I now go along with my plan. I play queen e5. I thought this was good. My concepts of a plan is pretty clear cut. Yeah, it's a miss. Oh, I had mate in 6. I was looking at these sacrifices. I didn't see how it worked. It's here, and then rook e2 check. He like takes, and then I take, and this seems easy enough. Yeah, okay, well that's easy. But if he doesn't take here, if he moves back, what's the follow-up? Oh, I just move in like this. So I missed checkmate. Okay. Ah, boy. A bit of time pressure, and I was a little bit leery of the sack. All right, well, I play queen e5 here. Looks like I missed mate. Good job, Babo. I thought there might be some mates here. He plays king a2. He gets out of it. And I was fine with this because I thought now he's opening himself up to these forks that also windmill him, which is good for moi. So I play knight b5. That's my threat. Pretty obvious. He plays rook f5. He's attacking my queen. I say, don't matter to Jesus. I play queen g7 with the idea I still have these same threats. He plays h6, and I say, oh, that's not a big deal at all. Whatever. It is what it is. And on move 39, after h6, I start with knight c3. Move 39. Oh, whoops! I play queen e7 first. Play queen e7. Okay, both of those moves are good. My threat here is pretty clear. I'm trying to attack and infiltrate on a3. Queen e7. He plays b4. And I look at this and I really wonder if I have a sacrifice. I thought maybe I did. It looks like I do. Knight c3. But okay, cool. I find the mate in 14. And I play knight check. My thinking here is I might have a sacrifice, but worst case, I just now pick up the rook. And with an extra rook, this should be pretty easy to win. Obviously, my technique has not been perfect. I'm down to, after move 39, 13 minutes. Again, I was moving pretty quickly. So yeah, after knight check, c3, he plays king d2. You guys can see the danger he's in. I take his rook with check. He takes with the queen. And I thought, and then here is where I actually finally tanked, because I thought I saw a forced mate, all right? So in this position, knight c3, check. Knight c3, check. King b2, knight takes d1, check. Queen takes. I just played a5, which seemed good to me, just to split him open. I was calculating rook takes rook, pawn takes, queen takes, and I thought that this was checkmate, but I mean, like that, I didn't, okay, I'm going to be honest, I didn't fully see it. I just didn't want to just sacrifice the rook without knowing I have mate. I figured I probably did, but I just wasn't really sure. So I didn't do that. Instead, I played a5. Once I play a5, I think he played c3. Yeah, he plays c3. I then basically played a takes. I figured this is pretty much good enough to win. I play a takes b4. He plays a takes b4. Again, I thought I found this. I thought that there was a sacrifice like mate here. I thought rook takes pawn was winning. It was just over. Yeah, it is. E takes. Yeah, I calculated rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. If he blocks with the queen, for the record, I actually did sit and use, let's see, with a takes b4, I used 4 minutes. I got down below 8 minutes, and I just thought that, like, rook e2 check was very simple winning too. So I played rook e2 check, which is what? Yeah, which is the second best move. It's minus 12 or whatever. Yeah, I thought it was just, I thought that was pretty clear. I figured that there was, a sacrifice, you know, takes. If he blocks with the queen, you can check him here. He can't move. He can't keep his queen defending his king defending his queen. So I would just pick up the queen. So he can't block with the queen. So he has to run. And I thought in those positions, there's no pawns here. There's no rook here. I thought I had like, I thought I had a mate there. Just to show you guys, takes. He can't play here because I check him. So if he played here, I thought I would check him here. If he blocks, I do something like this. I thought this was checkmate, which is checkmate. Cool. Yeah, so I calculated here, and it looks like if he plays king a2, I can go, apparently rook e8 to a8 is unstoppable as well. Yeah, so alright, so honestly, I should have played one of those checkmates, like with a sacrifice. I just didn't think I needed to, and after this, I just played rook e2 check, which, again, maybe it's like less, again, it's mate in 10 instead of 7. So, you know, but, you know, when I really studied for like 4 minutes, I just didn't want to, I didn't want to use all my time and then, like, not go through with the sacrifice. I thought this was still obviously quite winning. So rook e2 check. He plays king c2. No, it's not possible. Where the hell are we? Yeah, we like lost track of where we are even. Rook e2 check. He plays king b3. I play queen e4. Oh, yeah, I play queen e4 because my idea here is, again, this is just checkmate. Rook takes b4. Because then if he takes, I like, just so you guys can see, if you go here, he takes with the pawn, and yeah, queen e3 is just going to be checkmate, because this square is taken away, and if he moves over here, then boom, you have checkmate, this is taken away. I did see that. Anyway, I got checkmate a lot of ways. Obviously, I won this game, but I didn't win it in style. I didn't go for, after losing to Noah, or not losing, drawing Noah, after I thought that I had these beautiful checkmates, I decided to just like trade material. I ended up ladder mating Steven. I'll show you guys how the game ended. It was like not fancy. But yeah, I played my queen up, thinking that this will be a checkmate, so it's this forces queens off the board. And I thought that once takes, that this is obviously very easy to win. So the game went on for another, 20 moves before I finally checkmated him. Steven played till checkmate. The outcome is obviously never in doubt, but I literally was down below 7 minutes. I just, again, I kind of bungled around a little bit, but like, this is just simply winning. I also saw this funny mate. If he goes in here, I have checkmate, because this pawn is taking away this square. This would be taking this away. So I actually saw when I checked him, he has to move back. I'm going to win all these pawns. And again, just winning all the pawns just felt very, very simple. So that's what happened. So yeah, so I won this game. With that, I'm on 3 wins, 1 bye. I'm the clear tournament favorite. I entered round 5, only needing a draw to put myself on the board. I mean, the rest of these moves are not relevant. I actually stopped recording moves after move 56 because I just ladder mated him, for the record. I could show you some of the continuation, but it already kind of got bungled up, so we're going to just go new. And I'm going to show you my very, very quick game against James Rhoads. So the way this was, I was white. The game started at 2:30, and at basically before the round started, I knew that I had 3.5 points, he had 3 points, and one other person had 3 points. If I lost, I might fall out of. If I lost, I would not win. James would win. He'd be on 4 points. And the other guy that was on 3 could have also won, and then I would bump me to, at best, splitting for third, which would be a disaster. It's like $500 for first, $250 for second, $125 for third, nothing for fourth. Whereas if I draw him, I finish ahead of James, and the worst that can happen is the one guy who also has 3 could win, and he'd finish on 4, and he'd split first with me. So we'd split first and second, so I'd make $375. So basically, it is absolutely to my benefit to draw. Obviously, winning is great too if I can win, but really I just need a draw. I think this opponent should have tried to win, but before the round started, I said, "Hey James," I said, "Are you sticking around for the time odd blitz?" And he said, "No, I'm just going to get out of here." And I said, "Well, would you like to make a quick draw?" And he said, "Let me think about that." And I said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "Look, if you want to play, you want to play. I have no problem with it. But I'm trying to be practical here. The difference between me, if I lose, and like the money, I mean, 500 is a lot. Like that's a pretty big prize. We're not talking about like the March Swiss where winning is like $60. Like huge difference between 500 and 60. And I'm trying to be practical. Literally, if I lose this game, I might only win like $60. Whereas if I win, yeah, I'll win the pure 500. But settling for guaranteed, again, this other guy who's on 3 has to win his game. I have a very good chance of winning 500 just by making the draw. But if he doesn't want to make a draw, he doesn't want to make a draw. So I say, okay. I said, oh, you're not playing the time odds. I said, all right, well, do you want to just get out of here? I'm not playing it either. I said, we can make a draw. And he said, you know what? Let me look at my rating. He said, if I can move over 1,700 after this tournament, I'll definitely make the draw with you. And we looked it up. We used the calculator. And if he draws me, his rating, James Rhoads, is 1691. He's having a decent tournament, but he's gained a couple rating points. Drawing me, I'm right now 1637. He would only finish his tournament earning like +2. So I said, bummer. And he said, yeah. He said, I'm sorry. I have to play this game. I really want to finish over 1,700. I said, you don't need to apologize. Totally good. And I went in thinking, okay, like, we're not going to get a quick draw. I really have to try my best. But I'm having a great tournament. If I win, I'm going to be over 1,700 as well. So I launch with D4, pretty typical. He immediately goes into the old Benoni. And I'm like rolling my eyes because I did study this a little bit. I've been having some problems with this online. But I'm not like booked up in it yet. And I just like shrug. I immediately play D5. This is the best move. And then he looks at me and he says, draw? And I say, sure. So we play a 2-move game. I don't know if I'm supposed to like include this or whatnot in my stats. But let's do a game review of this one, shall we? Why not? Game review for this one. 498-day streak. Nice. Look at that, guys. I played 100% accuracy. Hell yeah. Obviously, this doesn't count. We didn't play, we played 2 moves. Yeah, and basically with the good old Benoni, this is the book move. They basically play knight f6, and I play c4. Yep. And like I obviously know a bit of the theory here. It's not like I'm treading water uphill, but I try to be practical. I'm having a great tournament. I know if I draw this one, worst I can do is chop first and win $375. It's very likely I win 500. I was going to share my chess finances, but I actually don't know the results because I'm filming this, and I'm sure everyone's still playing their other round. It's still just 4 o'clock or whatever. And I made a draw. So I played well against Steven. I have to re-input the game. We'll see how that is. I was very proud of my game against Steven. I'll definitely go over that one myself. And yeah, hey, hell yeah for the Colorado counter gambit. It worked well for me there. Yeah, and like I guess that's it. That's me signing out. I win this tournament. The only question is whether I chop it. I believe Luke, who I beat in the Monday Pie tournament, I either chop it or I win outright. I hope that I win it outright, but if I don't, then I didn't deserve it because I did take this quick half point. But then I'll still win like 375, and I'll be very, very happy with that as well. So, yeah, that's everything from me. Spring Festival. So that's my games, my rounds 4 and 5. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I mean, there's no way the results will be up. Yeah, there's no way. They're not up, clearly. Just so you guys can see, the U1850, 500 for first, 250 for second, 125 for third. The only person, there's one other guy who could tie me on 4 points. So 500 plus 250. The way it works, if you split first, you split the prize. There's 375. And if he doesn't win, the guy on 3, I think it's Luke Ferrara, who I beat last week. If he draws or loses, I just win 500. And that's awesome. I was going to share the chess finances tab because what's funny, I'm pretty sure if I win the 500, I'll basically be net even for the entire hobby for nearly the whole year, which is pretty freaking cool. I did input the D4, C5, D5 into my book against James Rhoads. 1691, I guess I'll input it. But yeah, for now, I'm going to go back. I'm going to input the game against Steven. I'm very happy with myself. That Knight A1 tactic is insane. I wonder if anyone saw it. I had a couple of the mates with like the rook sacrifice, which would have been cool. But it's just a case where literally I was down to 6 minutes. He had 30. I just didn't want to, when it looks so winning, just trading and just getting into the I had 2 rooks against 1 rook and I had 2 pawns. It was like very easy mate. I know that's not great technique, but it didn't matter. It was 100% a win, no stalemate, and I got his ass. Good news, I inputted the results, including the draw against James with 1691. And according to this, my rating will rocket past 1700. Obviously, my results in the March Swiss this month are not good, so I'll definitely lose points for that. It looks like in this tournament, I earned about 70. In the March Swiss, currently, I lost about 50. The Pie, because I got 2 wins and 2 draws against low-rated players, I lost like 6 points. If I win out in the March event, I'll probably end up earning points in March. I'll probably be somewhere around 1650 or 1670, which is great. It does mean 1700 will continue to elude me, but I'm feeling pretty good about my chess. I think I played very well. I'm happy with how I played my other rounds. I was north of 90% accuracy. I'm curious what I am against Steven. And I'm not beating myself up against not making more of a game against James, even as the white pieces. The truth is I wanted to play practically. I put myself in a great position with the 3 wins and the bye. So finishing with 3 wins, a bye, and a draw is completely okay with me. All right, hope you all enjoyed it. I will be posting this one shortly. So just really 3 videos rather than for the 5-round tournament, but that's all it took to win. Have a good one, everybody.